This is the Uptick Network Stock Day Podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Penny stock news and interviews from the microcap world. Public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world. With your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, we have a very exciting guest with us, Dr. Stuart Titus. He is the CEO of Medical Marijuana, Inc. They trade on the OTC pink sheets under the ticker symbol MJNA. Dr. Stuart, thank you for coming back to the show and welcome again. Give us a little update of what you guys have been doing for the last couple of months.
Well, it's been a very exciting time and certainly a great pleasure to be on the Uptick Newswire with you here this morning. And certainly we've been very busy with a number of different initiatives, some interesting developments throughout Latin America as the world tends to be changing its outlook on cannabis. And certainly we are working to educate the public as to some of the wonderful benefits that this potential natural botanical holds in store. Of course, our company is involved with the industrial hemp side of the cannabis world, and certainly our natural botanical hemp-based CBD products are making world news, and it's been a very exciting time for the company, no question.
Can you tell us a little bit about the recent news that medical marijuana with the real your RSHO product was improved and imported? I think you guys are sending it out now to Brazil and the market there. How big is that market in Brazil?
Well, we certainly think there's a very robust market. Our present indication, the initial indication was for a condition called refractory epilepsy within Brazil. And the Brazilian market has about 2 million individuals with various forms of epilepsy. We feel there are about 600,000 to 700,000 children with this unfortunate, what's called refractory epilepsy, which is basically something that's treatment resistant. Pharmaceutical medications haven't worked particularly well. And so this is where we have started going back to April of 2014. And it's been our company's flagship product, Real Scientific Hemp Oil, that was allowed for importation into the Brazil market. We were the first company and our first product down to the marketplace. Since then, we've been able to expand on a certain number of indications, and it just seems that the program has gone well enough that the regulatory authorities in Brazil are seeing potential applications not only for epilepsy, but potentially across the entire neurological spectrum into things such as Parkinson's disease, chronic pain, which also includes migraine, headache, et cetera, et cetera.
You know, tell my listeners about your competitors. Do you have any competitors in the Brazilian market?
We do, yes. Since the market has been developed and established, there are a number of registered providers on the Anvisa website, and we believe right now there are about 9 individual companies, including ourselves, who are able to export the product into the Brazil markets. And so it's a very significant development that there are many people and other companies bringing product in for people's overall health and wellness benefits.
Why is Latin America such a major focus for the company's upcoming strategic initiatives?
Well, certainly this was something we hadn't necessarily planned on this happening, but nonetheless, back in early 2014, we had basically received a petition from family in Brazil to import our product. They had found out that similar family in Dallas, Texas area had been using our product with very good success, and the mother had basically been posting on her Facebook page that there was some success with this product. And long story short, initially the product that was being sent down to Brazil was rejected as it was a cannabis-based product. And after we did a little bit of work and education, and certainly the media group in Brazil got a hold of the story and felt this was something that it would be inhumane to keep this product from this family and their young child. And the regulatory authorities certainly agreed. In Brazil, they're very humanitarian-oriented, and certainly they put humanitarianism well ahead of politics. Of course, here in the U.S., we're still struggling with some of this, but nonetheless, they've been very accepting of our products since, and it's been great to see the rollout and the development.
So the real scientific hemp oil product, is that being monetized right now down in Brazil?
Well, certainly we are working with a number of families down there. In fact, the government of Brazil is probably our largest single customer, as there are many orders that go through the various state and local governments. And we're certainly very excited about what's happening there. And, of course, the spillover has allowed us to get into Puerto Rico with 12 different product registrations. And recently, Mexico has decided to take on our RSHO X product, which is a cannabis-based CBD product without THC. And that was as of February 1st. So we're working with a number of individuals to have our product imported. There's a lengthy process to be able to import. You have to go through a customs broker and the rest. But nonetheless, we're moving forward and hoping to align with a doctor and a certain medical group that's interested in doing a little bit of clinical study and looking at the potential to treat some of the epilepsy patients that they are seeing in Mexico. Of course, in Mexico, similar to Brazil, the product needs to be imported with a doctor's prescription. So this is something that the medical doctors are very much involved with, and we're looking forward to doing a good deal of clinical research to prove out the fact that our products are safe and they work quite well. We think we'll be definitely rivaling some of the top pharmaceutical medications in the space with some of the benefit we've been seeing with our anecdotal evidence so far.
My guest today is Dr. Stuart Titus. He is the CEO of Medical Marijuana, Inc. They trade on the OTC pink sheets under the ticker symbol MJNA. Tell us, recently you had a meeting with one of the Mexico's based activists, Raul Elzada.
Yes, Raul Elizade, yes.
Yeah, Elizade. And discuss the emerging Mexico market with your new product, the RSHO. And this is the first time the federal government has approved it, correct?
This is correct. Yes, this is the first cannabis-based product to legally be imported into Mexico. This happened on February 1st of this year. Going back towards the fall of 2015, through our stories that have gone through the various news media, there were a number of families in Mexico who had similar children with various disorders, and certainly they had petitioned the government to be able to bring our product in. And there was a lengthy process going through a number of legal challenges and court orders, the rest, but nonetheless, everyone prevailed, and February 1st of 2016, our product was actually allowed within Mexico, and still today it is the only legal cannabis-based product that can be imported into the Mexico markets.
That's excellent.
Throughout the past several months, there's been good national debate within Mexico regarding the potential legalization of medical marijuana. We've certainly been able to support and co-sponsor a couple of events, one particularly the first part of April in Tijuana, Mexico. And I believe some of this national debate, along with stories from, say, the Elizade and other families who've been using our product, has actually allowed the government, the president of Mexico, President Nieto, to change his position on medical cannabis, and now he's a big supporter. Obviously, it has to still go through the Congress before this will be allowed, but we certainly think in the near term that Mexico may follow Canada in allowing medical cannabis to be allowed throughout the country along with the doctor's prescription.
In 2015, I believe you guys did around $9 million in revenues. What do you see for the future of 2016 and 2017 now that you're penetrating some of these Latin American markets?
Well, certainly we're excited about the potential. Of course, we're just a very small startup company, so our future projections could be quite significant if we can fulfill our promise. Truly, we think that once the medical community embraces some of the research that we're able to do and showing that there is a significant benefit, that doctors will feel more comfortable in writing prescriptions throughout these countries. And I think that is going to be a huge driver for sales. But we also have two company divisions that are in pharmaceutical development. And one of our companies just announced clinical trials going on in Europe on a new cannabinoid compound. This is cannabigerol, CBG, which may be the next CBD. And we're certainly excited about the potential and the opportunity overseas with these clinical trials for a topical application of CBG for psoriasis as well as atopic dermatitis.
My guest today is Dr. Stuart Titus. He is the CEO of Medical Marijuana. They trade on the OTC pink sheets under the ticker symbol MJNA. In closing, Dr. Stuart, is there anything that you would like to get out to my listeners that you and I didn't get a chance to touch upon?
Well, certainly we've had a great opportunity within Latin America, and it's very exciting to see expansion and rollout. We'll definitely be doing a little bit more in the Puerto Rico marketplace as well in the coming months. We certainly are excited about our pharmaceutical development divisions and the fact that our Axum Biotechnologies is starting these clinical trials in Europe, I think is very exciting for us. So we definitely look forward to keeping your listeners and followers updated as far as developments on these clinical trials and research that we're certainly the latter part of the year, I think will be well into 2 or 3 different studies that could be very pivotal for the future of the company.
Well, I said it once before, and I'll say it again. For a stock price around 5 cents, I think you guys are very undervalued. I want to thank you for coming on the show today, and we're going to check back with you and your company here in a couple of months.
Well, Everett, it's been a great pleasure. Thank you so very much. We've had great experience with Uptick, and certainly look forward to being on in the future.